Hidden ball trick. We probably ran that 9 times or 10 times in the last 10 years. And Coach Smith brought that. I could take 0 credit for that. That's all him. And we ran it in Georgia 4 years to go to Texas. And it worked perfectly, same situation. And I actually had the same shirt on, Super Regional at our place, I did the year we were in Georgia. I remember walking down to Coach Smith and said, hey, let's go run it. And he said, are you sure? I said, yeah, it doesn't work with like idiots, but if it does work, we're going back to Texas. And it worked last time, it's gonna work again. So he went out, Coach Smith fashion, nonchalantly, about 4 minutes out to the mound just to get there.
I've already been out there once or twice during that game, so there's really no difference. They had runner in scoring position, so I went out just to calm it down a little bit.
So Coach Smith came out to the mound and he talked to me and talked me down. He said, okay, we're gonna do bummer. And I said, okay, we've practiced this 1,000 times. It's just like practice.
The call came from the circle, it came from Kate, and she just kind of made the signal to us, like, hey, it's happening. So then we had to go around and make sure, like, tell everyone else, hey, it's gonna happen.
And then Kate just kind of turned around, and then me and Claire looked at each other and we're like, are we doing this? And we're like, yeah. So like we turn around and we're like, Kayla, yeah, we're doing this. We're all just sitting there and then like, are we really actually gonna do this, Is this actually happening? Because we only like practiced, once. Everybody's like, oh, you guys must have practiced that so many times. I'm like, no, we do it once, like on our freshman.
And last year, we actually forgot to even go over it. So the weekend, Super Regional, he's like, hey, we should probably go over that. So we walked through it in the grass really quick, barely even touched on it. In case we need this, here's the verbal cue, be ready.
And they just had put in a pinch runner, so it's like a perfect opportunity for what we wanted to do.
Pinch runner for the Knights, it's the sophomore Rachel Millston.
Why is the pinch runner for?
Usually they don't get in the game very often. So they're already nervous. This is my one time of the game. I get maybe in every other game or something, and they're nervous. They want to get that lead. They're not really sure. They're not familiar running bases, really. They're just faster than the person they're replacing.
Both teams up off their benches in the dugout. On the fence, taking everything in. Soppy armed with 2 outs, but runners on base at first and second.
I pitched the ball on the outside of the plate.
Kate pitched the ball and got it back.
I threw the ball back to Kate.
And I faked throwing it to second.
Kate did her little fake throw to second, and it was just like we had to be like perfect timing. Like we've never actually done it that well in practice.
And then from there, it's all about selling it. Kenna and I diving into second. We have to make sure we time it well enough that we're not diving at the same time, it's a little staggered, and that we're diving in relatively the same spot.
When you have to sell that thing, the pitcher's a big part of it. The middle infielders are a big part of it, but the people who really sell it are the outfielders.
Do I dive? Am I gonna dive? I never dive in practice. So then I was like, nah, I'm not gonna dive. And then literally right after it happened, I was like, okay, I'm gonna dive. So the first time ever I dove.
My part in the hidden ball trick is to back up Kayla as if there was a ball thrown and she missed it.
So I've got Kayla, my junior, in center field, and I'm like, all right, I know she's gonna turn and bolt. This is gonna happen. But I have no idea what I'm gonna get out of the freshman on either side of her because this is a high pressure situation. They've never had to lean into something like that and just act. So thankfully, Kayla sold it just as well as she always does. Takes a dive and then takes off. And then Taylor bolts down after her.
I was kind of keeping my eye on the runner the whole entire time, and I saw her kind of like look at Kayla, then look at me, and then she just kind of went into a frantic and like took off running the third, and I knew that we had it in that moment.
And you can see the batter kind of look up to see the running happen. But what really sells it is you see Lexi Clark, and I am genuinely convinced that Lexi had no idea what was going on, except that she really thought there was an overthrow. And she knew her job, and that kid does her job well. She knows her role, she knows her responsibility, and she fulfilled that role, and she bolted to back up third because she knew if that overthrow was going past Kayla, that's where the throw was going. And you see Lexi just full on belt. And that's what gets that coach, because the coach kind of looks up, see Lexi coming over, and then that's the point where the runner takes off, and you're like, yep, there it is. But yeah, I'm convinced that Lexi had no idea.
And then I knew she had it in her hand, and I kind of just start like jumping out there because I know what's gonna happen and the girl's gonna go.
The girl took off from second, and I pretended like the ball had gotten through.
The girl on first base is yelling, no, 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 and the girl still ends up going, so it's just perfect.
And I kind of jumped my way over to third base, and I was able to tag the girl, and we all got to celebrate.
So where I am at third, I'm involved with the play, but I also get a whole view of the field when it's happening. There was all this yelling, and it was so cool from my perspective because it's
it's like a movie. Everyone's working in sync. It just gives you chills. Like it's exciting to perform, and then when it actually happened and it sent us to the national championship, it was just it was just so much excitement and yelling and screaming and hugging. It was just, I think we all were on cloud nine.
And then after the game, my mom was like, I can't believe I really thought you missed the ball. I was like, okay, I would not miss the ball, you know?
You know, everyone asks what sells it the best. And yes, I think the shortstop's important, second base is important, outfield's important. But the best part for us was that none of the parents had ever seen that. It had been that long, and that, so they jump up, they scream, they sell it, and they all thought, oh my gosh, they're gonna tie the game up, we're gonna, what did they just do? And the next thing you know, the game's over. And it was so executed so well that I believe the cameraman in our dugout didn't even catch it. And I remember him tapping me and saying, why didn't you tell me that was coming? I didn't want to give it away. It could be bad luck. So, we just went with it, and luckily they ran it well. And for Kate to pull it off, who has the worst poker face in the world, it was pretty amazing to be the final out. The only bad thing about it, you always hear that won the game. We played really well that whole weekend. That was just one out of all the outs we need to advance. But it was very exciting out. And Jess Carroll, thank you for you, because it'll never work again.
It's amazing how we did that in 2014 and you heard nothing about it, but now with social media, it just went viral. 6 years later, 5 years later. So, big change. Now, probably won't be able to use that again for quite a while, but we'll still have it.
Everywhere we went, people ask us, hey, you're that team. Where's Kate at? How'd you hide the ball? Explain the play to us. I mean, we probably got asked that 25 times once we landed and got to our hotel. People were so excited and knew who we were.
People were recognizing us everywhere we went, and they saw our jerseys and they knew exactly who we were, which was a really cool experience, especially coming from a D3 school. We even had a guy, when we were warming up, come over and ask to take his picture with me, which was kind of a first, and told me that his friends and him had talked about meeting me, and he was so excited that he had to go tell his friends that he got to meet me. So it was a really cool experience. Being famous for a little bit.
That moment at which they performed that play is really what spoke volumes. Yeah, we had a great run, we kept going, but that moment for them to fully, wholly trust each other, to drive through that moment, to make that play, to sell that play, to get a huge out, and to do it together, it was more than just some media thing. It was a moment within the team to see what they had created and what their potential was moving forward. So that's not something every team can just sell.
Being able to go to that elementary school and do community service with them, and sit in with that gym class and be able to play like games with them and stuff was really, really cool for me, because I remember when I was in elementary school and like during homecoming the football players would come, and it was the coolest thing. I looked up to them like they were superheroes, they were superstars, and it was a very humbling moment for me, because like I said, I remember being that little kid.
These kids were so full of life and energy, and it was a great break from having to focus constantly. So it was a good, fun break, and we got to share it with these very special kids that I will definitely never forget.
I absolutely adore children and love participating and doing any kind of activities with them. So just to be able to have fun with them, just on our spare time while we were down there, was pretty awesome.
They think that we're superstars, and they look up to us, and we get to sign autographs for them, and it not only makes their day, but it really truly makes ours as well.
Obviously the community service is the fun part. Our kids love the opportunity. We're very active here with Special Olympics, but to get down there and just spend a day with some kids and see their reaction and watch our kids just give them high fives and hugs, and we have our SID playing dodgeball with us and Coach Smith, and just had a just relaxing way to spend the day.
Any chance I get to play with little kids, it's always fun. It's just different. Being able to be there for little kids who look up to you, it's pretty awesome.
Growing up, going through travel ball and now into college softball, we get to go to all these different unique places, but we're there for a job, we're there to win. So when we were able to participate in community service, we were actually able to experience the culture of that local area.
It held a special place in my heart because growing up, I would see those student athletes coming to visit us, and then just being able to be someone for them to look up to was pretty inspiring and great.
And my goal wasn't to hit the kids because I know that it would hurt. So I just aimed for the coaches, and we just blasted Coach D and whoever was over there and our teammates because little kids couldn't handle us throwing it.
We made a lot of quick friendships with a lot of the kids, and I think it really helped us relax a little bit too, because this is why we're here. We're here because not only have we worked hard, but we're here for all the kids who are looking up at us. Playing in the World Series is something that all of us have dreamt since we were little girls when we first picked up a ball, and it's everything that we've all worked for since that moment.
Growing up as a little girl, I'd always see the World Series and stuff on TV, and then always kind of wanting to be there, and then finally being on that stage was just amazing, and it was just some goal I've always wanted to accomplish.
I don't know, it's just really cool and a fun experience because not a lot of people get to have the opportunity to go down to Texas or Oklahoma City and participate in a huge event like that. So, and to go down there with all my best friends, makes it 10 times better.
My favorite part about being in Texas is just being with your team, being with your family. It's more about than the game of softball. It's not always, did you win, did you lose? It's who you meet along the way and do you get to play the game that you love. So that was my favorite part, just being with everyone that I love and hang out with and just playing softball.
Every player met you with a smile. They were excited to see you and they were excited to see each other, and there was jokes just flying every which direction. But you realize at that point you've reached a different level of chemistry. It's no longer defined as chemistry. I mean, it's fluid family.
Well, the most exciting part for a team is usually to get on the road and travel together. Obviously, if you can get on a plane, that kind of makes it even more enjoyable, and travel across the country to Texas is a great opportunity for your kids. You always have a couple of kids that have never flown, so they're nervous, they're scared. Taylor Murdoch's famous for not taking her laptop out of her bag or leaving food in there so she gets searched. It's always fun to watch them go through that. And then obviously, you're going there to play the National Championship Tournament, which is a great experience for anyone.
We're definitely a trainer at getting to and from places, but who isn't? I would definitely say getting there and just being in a different state with the team. It's a bit of a different atmosphere as well. We're all settling, we're here to accomplish this goal that we've been trying to accomplish all year. So it was exciting.
There you go. At least we're downtime here. Good. Atta girl. Let your body go to work here. Good. There you go. There you go. Tug and get through. Tug and get through. Hands right at me. Where's your angle there? Where's your angle there? Where's your body go, P? Yep. Sit down to me. There it was. That's better. Still sit up a little bit. Your shoulders stay down more. So again, we want that catch, right? Out in front of our eyes. So if our barrel's back here on contact, behind our eyes, there's no power. Now our body's not connected. Your best swings, contact's out in front, and your eyes in static position are behind that ball. Then all the strength you have in size is behind it. Back here, we're weak. All right, out in front of that big tail. Come on. Get out in front, get some. They're at contact point. Now let's get this, not this. And we're good. Yep. Totally different angle. Good job. Atta girl. Way to tuck it through. Good job. Hey, where'd you go first? Where'd your body go? Yeah, you showed me numbers way too soon, right? Stay close on that. Front shoulder down and through. Use your whole body, hit this ball. Whole body. Around your spine. Let's go. Hit through it, right? Hit through it. Leave that, read that, right? Leave that one. Small zone. Your wheels ain't small zone here. Good. Pick, please. Okay, as long as you're aggressive, guys, there's no wrong play. Tomorrow our key is to be aggressive. We can't be passive. We got to come out and attack. Swing hard at our pitch and attack all day long. We'll be fine. Let it plant. Good job. Here we go. You see him, Phil, here. Hey, I want to say congratulations, first of all. Yes! For you guys getting us here. All right, we've made the mistake in the past of always said, hey, let's get there, let's get there, let's get there, let's get there. And we got there, and we played tight, and we played not to lose. All right? One thing about this team all year long, you guys have played fearless. You've seen ball, you wouldn't call ball. You've seen ball, you've hit ball. You've talked, you've had fun, you've made it a game. If you guys are willing to do that tomorrow, we are fine. All right? And the team tomorrow that's the most loose and just enjoying the moment, we'll probably win. Is Lillian Wesleyan good? Yeah, they're good. Are they any better than you guys? Not at all. All right, they do not want to play you. I know that. All right, as a 2 seed, that was the worst 2-7 seed they could have drawn to get us. All right, but it's got to be done top to bottom. Talk to each other tomorrow, not at each other. All right, have fun tomorrow. It's another day. How many teams are already home on break? All right, working, going 9 to 5 right now. We're in beautiful weather on a beautiful stadium ready to play ball. First time I was here, I was in awe. This place is amazing. To me now, it's another game. Why? Because the trust that I have in this group right here. All year long, you showed up for each other, you showed up for us. And this is one of my favorite years I've done this. Because you guys have just come and competed. Couldn't be more proud of you, win or lose. Obviously, winning tomorrow is going to be more fun. But all I'm asking you to do is enjoy the moment. Stay in the moment. One pitch at a time, one out at a time. Doing it together. Ubuntu all day long.
You obviously get a practice down there. And so in your head as a coach, you always compare, how did this practice go to the years previous when you were 0 for 4 going down there before, when you consider Oklahoma and Texas, in previous attempts to play a national tournament. And it just had a different feeling about it. I know as a staff, we were much more relaxed. Been there before, same facility, you weren't in awe. Obviously, Texas Tyler has some beautiful fields and the surrounding area is very nice. And just going through the practice day in my head, you could just sense that they were very responsive to our game plan. They were very confident. We knew we had the best pitcher there first game, and we had a game plan. They listened to it. It's really weird when you say our team was really disciplined but aggressive. And if you look at us all year long, we were very aggressive at the right times and very disciplined at the right times. And we knew with them we had to have that. And so in practice, coaches working up in the zone a lot, and you kind of saw them leaving it alone more than normal in practice. Usually they swing at everything. But you could just feel the excitement and them just wanting to get on the field. And they couldn't wait for game day. They couldn't wait to get on the field and just play. And get that first couple innings out of the way and see where we were. I thought each inning when they didn't score and we didn't score, it was in our favor. Because I thought we had a team that could change it with one swing more than most teams down there.
We were going into the 5th inning, the score was tied 0-0, and when I stepped into the box, I knew that I felt confident. I felt, after getting out literally every time that day, I was like, something good finally has to happen. And I took my hands to the ball, and as soon as I hit it, something good happened.
Well, obviously Mercedes' home run is the one that changed the first game, but it was our defense, to me, that really kept us in that game. I mean, we kept their hitters off balance. Our pitching staff didn't let them get on base. We didn't give any free bases away in big times. And you look at the trust, the balls over top a couple times with the outfield coming in and infield going out, and the communication. And you just saw them really play together.
Let's go!
Yeah, baby, good job, defense!
Well, Kate was a case where it was never a physical thing. She had the skill set. It was, would she ever get tough enough between the years? And I don't mean mentally, sometimes just would she compete? She's one of those kids that you could have went up to and just kind of, pushed her over and over again, and she would say, please don't do that, stop. And finally, when she got to smack your hand away and say, stop it. And finally, her senior year, without doing it, she smacked her hand away and say, I'm ready to compete. I'm ready to take what's mine. And finally, what it took was playing euchre with her, and you saw a different side in her. She would get so fired up and so competitive in euchre. It's Kate, how do we bring euchre to the mound? I don't know. And finally, Coach Smith and her found a way to bring that to the mound, and you saw Kate really come out of her shell and start to compete. Hannah and Kate realized it wasn't Hannah versus Kate. It was Hannah and Kate together. How do we win 2 games each day? Whatever game we'd play today, how do we work together? And you saw them finally quit being enemies and being friends and respect each other and grow. And now they're a 1-1 combo. And that was kind of the whole team. The whole team last year bought into that philosophy of, hey, doesn't matter who gets the hit, who gets credit, we have to get done together. And you saw Kate and Hannah come together, and the rest of the pieces just kind of fell in line. And when that happened, you saw 2 pitchers really come into their own, and they start having fun, relaxing, and not looking over the shoulder like, hey, this is a bad inning, am I coming out? Because they can come in and pick me up, and tomorrow I'll pick you up. And you really saw them kind of take a new step in their career.
There was other pitchers on the pitching staff, but we knew that we had the most experience on the field. So we knew that we needed both of us to get through the entire season. And it wasn't really a factor of who's 1 and who's 2. It was a factor of we need both of us to get through the entire season. So it didn't matter who pitched game 1, who pitched game 2, and whether you finished the game or you had this many runs against each other. It was mattered like who could do it at the time. And at certain moments, Kate was better at times, and certain times I was better. And we knew that we needed each other to finish the season. And having each other, I think, helps. You have someone to rely on.
I live and breathe softball. I work full time, and I can't wait to get out of there and get to softball. You know, you just have a sense of relaxation being on the field, being part of something like this.
My relationship with Coach Smith is definitely different than with all the other coaches. I spend the most time with him, and we actually talked about it the past season about how much I've evolved and how much I've learned. And I learned that it's okay to throw balls, and it's okay to throw the ball yellow sometimes, and more spin on the ball than speed is better most of the time. And it's okay to change your windup as a junior in college and make it work. So learned a lot of different things from him.
Oh, Coach Smith. I don't even know where to begin. He has impacted my life so greatly. He's taught me not even just about softball, but about life in general. And he's just a great guy to be around, and I enjoy every moment I got to spend with Coach Smith.
Kate, her freshman year, through some, we saw a lot of good things. Sophomore year, we saw a lot of good things. Junior year, up and down a little bit, and senior was her turn. She had the most experience coming in, and she was given the reins to go see what she can do. And at the end of the year, she said, "Thank you very much for believing in me." That's what we bring you up to do. So it's just very open, honest. She knows what she had to do, and she actually went and did it. That was the greatest thing.
These two teams reached Saturday very differently. Trine came away with the 1-0 victory against the Titans of Illinois. Wesleyan dropped yesterday's contest against Emory just by 1 run, so not a lot of offense. They've only had 5 hits over the last 2 games, so looking to see that spark.
1-1, right side. Kidness comes in, it'll drop. Bases loaded. Cunningham will hold up at third. McHugh at second. Nobody out here in the top half of the second inning. And that is going to be an RBI hit by pitch. Everybody advances 60 feet. Cunningham comes home. Some of the easier pinch running she's done. McHugh, who walked, is on third. Porter on second. And Kayla Hartline will join them. The 2-0 from Campman to Green. Right back up the middle. Diving smack by Hartline. What a play to end the inning. McKenna Hartline.
Well, I remember being pretty frustrated, going into that inning, and when I made that play, I just kind of dove, and I think I was already shifted more up towards the middle because wherever our pitchers go, that's where I tend to shift. And I was shifted, and I just dove, and the ball happened to, end up in my glove, and then I was on the ground. I was praying that Claire would be at second base. I just gave her a little flip, and then got up, and everybody came running towards me, and then just off the field we went.
Push the right side. It gets down. Kipnis scoops it up. And because Kipnis was so quick to the ball, Swartout has to hold up at second, but McHugh is on with a base hit. And still looking for insurance here against Murphy and Williams. Out towards center. Alvarado drops in front of her. They'll send the runner home. Thunder strike again. This has a chance to get down. Over left, diving, can't get to it. Backed up by Alvarado. The throw to third. Needs to apply a tag and obstruction the call.
I remember the first game when Mercedes hit her home run. I was like, dang, I wonder what it's like to hit a home run at the World Series. And then, so after that I was like, there's nothing to lose. So I felt like literally every ball just looked like it was like the perfect pitch. So I was just swinging at everything.
This one will carry out towards left. It's a 3-run blast from Michaela Hartline.
The Thunder will go up 5-0 on the swing of this at bat. A full count, 2 outs, 2 on. And Kayla Hartline comes up with a huge hit for the Thunder.
Kipnis first pitch swinging out to her counterpart in right. It's Murdoch making the catch. Here's Mackenzie Murphy, who doubled back in the first with 2 outs, but was left stranded. And Murdoch will be tested for a third time. A diving catch for the out in foul territory. Able to slide underneath it. They go at Murdoch 3 times as she helps retire the 3rd inning. 2 in scoring position. This to the right side, and they will settle for the out and trying to score it again. Lexi Clark had the leadoff walk. She has now scored. Hartline 60 feet away. This one launched out towards the gap in right center. It's gone! Lightning strikes again for the Thunder. Sword out will touch them all.
Talk about an offensive explosion here for Trine. We're just in the 4th inning, 8-0. And by the way, Ashley Swartout is 2 for 2 on the day.
They are willing to play some small ball. Again, the 0-2. Got it. Trine may very well be 3 outs away from punching their ticket into the semifinals tomorrow. Trine just looking for as much insurance as they can find for Campman. Two out towards left. Jenkins to the wall, cannot make the catch. A 2-out double for Victoria Porter. 3 for 4 today. And that is a proud big sister in Catherine Porter, who we mentioned played twice in the championship for Trine. Her whole family here.
Family to me is everything, and I think everyone knows that here. And following my sister, you always look up to her, and you always want to one up her kind of. So when we did take that game in Texas, when we actually won, now I could say we won in Texas and you didn't. It's kind of rubbing in the face, but she paved the way for the Porter family here.
Recruiting is so unique. It's probably my favorite part of the job. There's times you want to pull your hair out because you don't get a kid that you feel like you should have. But each story is so different. But recruiting is so much fun because you get to know them and know their families. And we cross more kids off our list that are rude to their coaching staff, rude to their parents. But yeah, you said that each one has a different story that you just see something about that kid that just makes they would be a good fit here.
My senior year of high school, I actually was looking to go to Elma. And I was going to play volleyball and softball at Elma. And then I tore my ACL. Well, the Elma coach was at the game. So to me, that came up as a red sign that maybe I shouldn't go there. And then I met Coach D at one of the camps. I actually didn't get to participate in anything at the camp because I had torn my ACL and I had surgery, so I didn't get to do anything. But Coach D was so welcoming and just wanted me there. He didn't even care if I couldn't do anything. He just wanted me to be there in the moment with the rest of the team so I could experience what I could look forward to in the next couple of years. And then I got an offer from Madonna University to go play softball there. And I visited Madonna, and it just didn't feel as good of a fit as Trine did. And I had called Coach D, and I kept telling him I wasn't sure what I was going to do. And Coach D had called my parents and said, we're driving up to see your daughter. So they were going to drive 2.5 hours to come see me in a snowstorm. And that's when I knew that that's the family I wanted to be part of.
Well, we were going to do a home visit, and we got hit with you can't travel on the roads. And I called her and said, hey, listen, if this is going to make or break you, we'll be there by 7. And her mom said, no, we'll pick a different day. But we made it very clear that we were willing to drive through the storm to come see her because we thought at some point in her career she would really help us, and it was the best fit for her academically as well. Well, like every D3 coach, first thing you look at is going to be your GPA and your SAT and ACT scores, to see if it's going to work financially. From there, though, I really want good character kids, and that's more important now than ever. My little kids are running around the weight room and the practice facility and stuff like that, so I want good kids around my kids. And we spend a lot of time together, so I want to be around good people. And we look for kids that simply love this game. If you dislike losing, this is not a good fit. If you hate losing, this is probably a good fit. But I want kids that demand their best in the classroom and on the field, and that respect their parents, that do little things. Just want to come here and be coached. If you want to come here and be coddled and kind of patted on the back, we have the best spot for you. But if you want to be held accountable and grow as a person first and a player second, this is a good fit for you.
Was there ever any doubt that you would go to the same school?
No. We are, no matter what, we're going to the same school. The reason we chose Trine is because it's a pretty small school, and at Brandywine, like where we're from, it's a super small town. Our high school, Brandywine, super small too. So just coming to Trine, it was easy to just kind of transition into this environment because we've already been around it our whole life. And being here with Kayla, it was 10 times better because I just always have a personal buddy, and I don't have to worry about going into class crap, I don't know any of these people, because she's always there, and I'm always sitting next to her, and have grown up playing sports together, and she's always been center field, I've always been shortstop, so we just always have that, I don't know, chemistry or connection. I know where she's gonna be at on the field, and she knows where I am. All the time, if there's those little bloopers between short and center field, I know she's gonna be there, and if not, then I'll be there for her. I like playing together with her because we've done everything our entire lives together, so it just makes things a lot easier.
0-1 set for a ride goodbye. Michaela Hartline, for a second time today, conquers the wall. Six runs batted in today for Hartline.
Hartline not only conquers the wall on this swing, she conquers the scoreboard. This ball, no doubt about it.
A lot of us had never been to Texas before, so traveling down, obviously it got a lot hotter and a lot more humid.
The first time I had to run the bases in Texas, I didn't get on base a lot, so it wasn't a lot so good for me. But, oh my gosh, I got to second base, I'm dang, Coach D, I need a pinch runner. That's how it felt in Texas. That's how hot it was.
It was hot, which was an adjustment that we needed to make, but we made that adjustment. We chugged water like it was no other. But we still had a lot of fun. I mean, me personally, and as well as a few of the other teammates, we did a lot of dancing, and that kind of just loosened us up a little bit once we did get onto the field.
Music plays into our softball team as a whole because whether it's like our pregame through our warm-up, we are always getting we're dancing, we're keeping the energy up, we're talking, and I think the way that we set our pace and warm-up is what carries throughout the rest of the game.
There's zero pressure on us. After you win a couple innings, pressure really gets hard on them. We're swinging free, having fun, talking.
Playing great D, doing us. We have the cage at 11 o'clock. You have a half hour for the cage.
She doesn't even want me to be here. Maybe I won't. It was just a joke. I don't think it was. It wasn't. Yeah, Khalil. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Chris.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, Lainey. Yeah.
Yeah, Pig Dog is with us.
Yeah, let's go.
There's a butterfly.
Woo!
Distance would suck.
Thank you.
Wow!
Arms, feet, forward.
Ooh.
Backward.
Wow!
It's provocative.
Oh my gosh,
He was like, camera, no!
TUSB on 3. 1, 2, 3.
TUSB!
Get her, Kenny, get her.
What happened?
Forehead selfie complete.
Here's my water bottle. You're calling to me. Yeah.
Tito's ready for game day.
So we were at softball practice the week right before regionals, and I was just in the outfield and we were warming up doing throwing, and I looked down and there's this tiny little thing and it looks like a quarter, you know, no bigger than a quarter, and I look down, I pick them up and I run to the coaches, I'm like, oh my god, I found a turtle. Kayla started screaming like, she found a turtle, and so that was pretty exciting because the twins are very animal oriented and they love animals and bring them around.
I don't know, I just have always loved animals. So when we came to China, I found out Claire hated animals. It really hurt me. Like even lizards, puppies. How do you not like a puppy? And then Kayla found Tito and it was on the softball field. So once we find something, we have to bring it, and it's ours and it's a part of our family. So where we go, it goes.
Tito got to go everywhere. He got to go to regionals. He got to be in team pictures. He was in the outfield during warm-ups.
He traveled with us everywhere. He was just kind of he was our little mascot, and he was a lot of fun.
I think having him there was something else to focus on. We didn't think about the game all the time and thought about do this for Tito or do your at-bat for Tito. When we came out of the dugouts, people were like, oh, is that Tito? And everybody just loved him. And then we just brought him everywhere we went. At practices, we let him crawl out on the field.
I feel like I grew up with Lainey.
Something that will stay with me or has really impacted me in the duration of our 4 years was our Christmas party,
our Christmas party freshman year, and typically every year there's a senior gift, and we were eating dinner in Coach D's basement, and there was this box that was just there the whole time. And so when it was time to open it, all the seniors gathered around it, and out of this box came Coach Harvey, and they were screaming and hugging, and I just remember sitting there like, I have no idea who this person is. And that's when Coach D announced that Coach Harvey was Coach Harvey, our assistant coach, and she previously played for Trine.
I started my playing career out in Iowa, and I played 2 years at a junior college, and I got to the point where I didn't know if I'd continue playing based on my academic situation. And out of nowhere, I get a phone call from a coach out in Indiana saying that he needs a catcher and he's got an opportunity and I can continue my engineering academic career. And that's where it all began. I stepped into a program for the first time in my life that accepted me as me. It was genuine for the first time. I wasn't just a piece. Most of my athletic career I felt very much just as a machine brought in to do work, and I was there for that purpose only. And when I came into Tri-State at the time, it was home. It felt like the coaches met me where I was at, and I mattered. And over the course of the 12 years as I transitioned from player to coach, I dove into that culture, because if I could have a coach give that to me, then it's my calling and my purpose to continue giving that to players moving forward, to let them know that there's so much more than just the game.
And fast forward a few years, she's been one of the most inspiring people in my life, and she also was an engineering major, so she really understood what I was going through in some tough times, and she's been there for everyone.
When I came into my coaching career, Lainey was entering her freshman year, and I for the first time was entering my full-time coaching career, because at that point I was a project engineer doing design work, and that was my life at the time, and it never felt like that was where I was meant to be. And then I stepped into this program, and we hit that moment of our life at the same time. So over the course of that 4 years, you know, she had a grace for mistakes, because obviously as a young coach you have growing pains, you say stupid things sometimes. But there was always an understanding and a conversation, and every year that I got to be a part of Lainey's story, I learned just as much from her as she learned from me. From having conversations of just trying to pour into her that as a young female engineer, she's gonna have to be strong, she's gonna have to believe in herself, she's gonna have people constantly telling her that she can't and she won't and she's not meant to be there. But if it's what she wants, it's my responsibility as a coach to pour that life into her, so when she leaves our program, she just comes out of it, you know, believing in herself more than she did the day she walked in. And as a coach, I think there's no greater blessing than just to believe in a kid more than they believe in themselves. No matter what, get in the mess with them, get down on their knees with them, just be there with them in it, so they know when they leave that program that there's somebody always right behind them believing in them and pushing them forward.
You know, we get the question all the time is, you know, what's the best part of your job? Obviously winning is nice, but the best part of our job is when we get a call from an employer that says, hey, you know, we're interested in this kid, and you get to explain why that company should hire your athlete. And you look at, you know, Lainey going into a great robotics engineering firm, and then Kate going to grad school, and just watching our seniors and Crispy graduating the engineering degree, and down the line through the past years of watching our kids go be successful and come back and share those stories with our current players. To me, that's the best part of this job, is watching those kids come in with a dream, and now they get to go live it, and now they get to play in big games, but also get to go now into their field and not just get a job, but get a career, something they're passionate about, and watch them grow into parents, and just see the maturity of life, and have them come back and say, hey, this adulting stuff isn't always great, but we learned lessons through your program and playing softball and in the weight room and, you know, wins and losses that are helping us become better parents and better employees. And that's really, I think, what we're doing really well with our staff, is implementing a system that helps kids go into the workplace and go into the real world and be successful. And when you get those calls back and those texts and letters saying, hey, Coach, thank you for helping shape my life, that's what this job is all about.
Our first three students who are being introduced today are members of our MIAA Conference Championship softball team. We're taking this opportunity to recognize these students so they may participate in the next tournament game, which begins shortly on our campus. I want to look to my right and the back of the building where our softball team is now gathered this morning. And we have a short message for you ladies this morning. Good luck and go Thunder.
From the College of Graduate and Professional Studies, earning a Master of Science in Leadership degree, Brittany L. Harvey. From the Allen School of Engineering, earning a Bachelor of Science in Mechanical Engineering degree, Lelena Bernice McHugh. From the Rinker-Ross School of Health Sciences, earning a Bachelor of Science degree, Catherine Jo Soppy.
The senior class was lucky enough to be able to walk with her on the graduation stage with our team. And I think it's very symbolic, and it's close to my heart that we literally graduated with our softball uniform on under our robe with the team there. So that was a really amazing experience that will stay with me forever.
I am so grateful moving forward knowing that Lainey's a friend, because like I said, she taught me just as much as I taught her, I would say. And to know that I have that connection in life and I had that grace through those 4 years as I was growing into who I was becoming.
There was a lot of emotions in the national championship, especially being a senior. It was just very intense and nerve-wracking but exciting, but it was also every pitch and every play was almost silent. It was so focused. It was almost like an out-of-body experience. It was really cool. But as a senior, I really I was just happy to be there with my team. I really made sure to stop and look around and savor every moment.
Available on Android, iPhone, and iPad.
I made sure to cheer for every single teammate because each teammate played a key role on the team, and we couldn't have been there without every single person's individual contribution. Us as the seniors, we had our time, and now it's time for new seniors to step up, go forth, because they are the future of Trine softball, and seniors to step up after them. So make us proud.
Hey, first thing I want to say is just thank you. Thank you for a year I will never forget. It's my 15th year doing this. It's one of the best years I've ever had. Now I just mean the wins. Obviously the wins make it easier. But the fact that you guys just showed up every day. How many drama do we have? How many talks do we have to have? Sometimes I have to yell at you. Sometimes I leave going home pissed off. Very, very little. Why? Because you guys showed up and acted like adults. You showed up and you practiced hard, you played hard, you support each other. I could make any sub I wanted, there's no pouting. We could do whatever we wanted, no one threw a fit. That's why you're here.
It was just really fun to watch those kids embrace that situation, to see the excitement, and not really nervousness, but excitement. No one threw up this time, nobody was gun shy. They just wanted to play. And when you looked at our dugout, you could see the excitement, you could see them just enjoying the moment. And as a coach, all you really want is them to embrace the moment they're in and just play for it, and not play with fear. And I thought we did a really good job, even though we struck out a lot, of no one looked scared, no one looked nervous, they just played. And they felt like any second, one of us was going to change that game. And even the Emory game was the same way, the Williams game was the same way, and Texas Lutheran game was the same way. A couple bounces here, a couple bounces there. All those games could change, but their demeanor never changed, and they stayed confident, and they just had fun. Last year we probably had the most lineups ever had. We yanked Laney early in the year, we yanked seniors. We had probably 10 different lineups throughout the year. We changed people late in the season, and they didn't care. They trusted every one of them. If they had Trine in the jersey, everyone in the dugout felt when they came in, we were fine. And they didn't care when they came in, who they came in for, as long as they came in and just played hard and respected the team. And every day they just did that. And it was just fun to sit back and watch everybody just kind of get it.
When they say trust the process through the coaches, trust the process. They know what they're doing, even if you in your mind at the moment say, well, why are we doing this? Just know that they know what they're doing and they'll get you there.
That season was the first time that we stepped outside of the bubble, and once we hit postseason, we did very little as coaches. I think that's the ideal dream of a coach is when you have players that just far exceed your expectation, and not as players but as people. And they surrounded themselves and created their own world, and we just stood outside of it and watched them do magic.
They were relaxed, they knew what they were going to do, they could have fun, and they just took care of business. And they executed so well in key spots of the games.
We definitely bonded a lot in Texas. We were very close the entire season. A lot of us hung out outside of softball, which I think really helped our team chemistry. And our coaches were along for the ride, always telling us, you're doing great, this is what you need to fix. Always constructive in a good way. And making it to the World Series with a team like that, it was something I'll never forget. And having coaches that told us how amazing we were, but also brought us down to the level of understanding that we got to keep our calm, one inning at a time, each game at a time, before we get ahead of ourselves.
You know, obviously we're known as a team that hits well, but I thought our defense was probably the best we've had, and since I've been here, just working together and just playing. They just went out and made plays. Didn't matter if it's a simple backup. You know, you look at some of the plays they made where Kenna makes a diving play and flips it over to Claire. They were always on a rope together. And just played together really well. You know, could have been more proud of some of the young kids really stepping up. I mean, you look at Ashley had a couple of really big swings. And Kayla, you saw really, with Kenna struggling on offense, you kind of saw Kayla go in defense mode at the plate and say, okay, I'm going to step up for my sister here and get us some RBIs. And really, you've seen that carry over into this year into practice. And then in the fall season, her swing looked really good, and that aggressiveness has stayed, and you kind of see some of them starting to fight a little more.
So this season, our team goal is to win the whole thing, just like any other year. I don't think that goal will ever change. Personally, I got one more year, so I want to make sure I set the underclassmen up to be successful in the future. So working with our freshmen coming in, the infielders, the ones that are going to be taking over as the upperclassmen get out, I want to make sure that they're in the best situation they can be to fill the role and get themselves to a World Series once we're leaving. Being both an engineer and on the softball team, it definitely fills up your time. You're busy every second of every day. So you get really good at organization. You make lists upon lists. It really sets you up to be successful no matter where you go, because you're always going to be ready to get whatever you need done. Organization gets you a lot of places. My freshman year, I learned about a cool job where you get to go out and for 3 years you get a different job every year. They pay for your master's degree at the same time. You're going to leadership conferences. They set you up to be successful in both their company and wherever you end up. Throughout my years, I've had my eyes set on that, and luckily after an internship there, I was able to get a spot within that company. I'll be out at BAE Systems in New York, in Binghamton, and for the next 3 years, I get to experience something new every year. I get to find something great and get a master's program in something I really like, and at the same time keep developing my leadership skills.
I'm a criminal justice and psychology double major, qualifying for nationals for a handgun team. It was my first ever competition in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and being able to say that I qualified to go to the national event that's going to be in Kansas City was definitely, it was an experience for sure, and I know that it'll help me when I go into the criminal justice field as a law enforcement officer. Personally, I really just want to, send off our seniors on a really high note, a lot like we did last year. And, be able to watch and see our freshmen grow and, even our seniors continue to grow as they push forward to graduation and, everybody else on the team, just kind of be there for them.
I think you look at our roster, obviously, with Kenna being out. She'll be back at some point, we believe. Obviously, I feel Kenna's one of the best players in the country defensively. And, Mercedes Doherty last year was a DH. This year, I think she'll get to play a lot more defense. She has really matured and gotten more athletic. Swing looks good, but her glove works a lot better. And so I think she'll get to fight for some innings. Haley Springer's name last 2 years I've talked about that I feel like is ready. And this year I really see a different change in her in the fall. She crushed it offensively. We had a scrimmage, she hit really well. I think she'll take Laney's spot at third base as of right now. And I think you're starting to see her come into her own. And she's a kid that can swing with anyone when she's confident. Outfield-wise, you have to talk about, Kayla is probably one of the best center fielders, I think, in the country with her arm and her range and her turns and her leadership. She took 2 freshmen last year and made them play really well. And I don't know who's going to be left and right. There's 2 freshmen pushing for spots, 2 sophomores trying to keep those spots. And the nice thing is you see all 4 of those kids interacting, getting along. There's no selfishness in that. They're going to push each other. Whoever we pick, they're going to support.
Going into the season, I'm kind of just putting it in my head that yes, we had a big year last year, but we also need to focus on the goal and not let that be something we rely on. We need to understand that that's not that exact team anymore. We're a whole new team, and we need to focus and take every little bit of what we have as a team now and push towards that goal.
Yeah, obviously, if Porter come back behind the dish, a senior that has great command of her pitching staff, brings that comforty, kind of settles it down, and just obviously just does her thing. And obviously, Campman on the mounds is exciting to have her back after a great junior year. And I challenged her over the summer and said, hey, if you look at all our pitchers in the past, very few have had better senior years than junior years. I think junior year is always that peak year. I'm challenging you to have your best year as a senior. And I think she's on pace to do that.
Last season was pretty successful as a team. It was really fun, and I know I evolved a lot and became like a bigger person and learned a lot of things on the mound and with my teammates. And I think as a class, I know we haven't won conference tournament yet, so I think that's something we really want to accomplish.
For me, this year the goal is to make the pitching staff the best that I can be and be competitive with all the other pitching staffs. We lost Kate last year, and now we have Hannah, and then we have to bring up the new freshmen to make them as good as Kate was or better to make it to the national championship.
One thing we're looking forward to this season is, last year we were not very quick. People that saw us play, I think we have some things defensively that we had some weaknesses last year that we have fixed this year. People that try to attack a certain way last year, this year, if they try that, I think we'll be a lot better defensively, which will help. We have a lot more team speed, more lefties in the lineup possible, with some faster righties as well. We still have the right to go long with the long ball, but I think we can attack you different ways now. Everyone knew last year at the fence, we make it a double, we made it stop at 1. This year now, we should be able to push the envelope a little bit with some more speed, and we have more pitch running off the bench. We have more depth off the bench, so we should be able to look at righty-lefty matchups and figure out our best lineup. We have 5 pitchers on staff we feel comfortable throwing, so we can attack you a little differently this way as well. So I think we have more depth than we had in the past. We have really good talent, and as long as the girls don't let it become an issue, it should be one of our biggest strengths is how we can approach each game and each pitcher with the best lineup to attack that defense.
I don't think a coach genuinely goes in each year. Yeah, the wins matter, the losses matter, the rankings, all that stuff's important. But I think when you step into what you're doing and trying to accomplish each year, it's still the same. Genuinely being there with these players, with these young women, and showing them who they are. Because if we can teach them confidence and just grace and passion and develop them into the people that they were meant to be, the people that we saw when we started recruiting them, if we can successfully do that throughout the course of the 4 or 5 months that we get to play, then that's success. And so every year that never changes, and that's what the core of our culture is. They come in and become the players that they are because of the belief system that's wrapped around them. I mean, it's where our heart is.
Taylor. Hi, welcome to the blooper reel with Brooke Cunningham.
Really happy you can edit things.
And I don't remember, what was the game? That's so terrible, but was it Super Regionals? Okay.
And so start over. Take. I was like, we don't play in Texas. So my coach, and then, yep, didn't know where I was gonna go after that.
See, I can say words, guys.
Maybe it was the temperature. You know, it was pretty hot down there. I was really loose, you know. You were there, Duffy. You know it was hot.
It was really warm. Talk about
my relationship. Den. A little general.
Where did I start with that one?
There you go.
My hands are sweaty.
See, I'm telling you, it's a hand foot.
Yeah, she's a really good clapper too. Have you been giving her lessons?
No, I watched Jess do it. Don't be
No, you got it.
I did.
Stuck together.
All right, everybody on 3 clap.
Okay, hang on, let me gather my thoughts about it. Take 2. Shade already. Check.
It's amazing.
It's so like no. As soon as I know exactly what you're talking
I
about.
am no longer Mercedes. I am Autumn.
Music speaks to me. Hi.
I just kind of get wonky in front of a camera. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of blanked on what I was saying. I love you.
Wow.
I love you. There's only one helmet ever that fit her head. It's just like weird shape, like it's like long. It's like big, but it's like long and like fat, so like it doesn't fit normal helmets.
Yeet. We also get to have all that fun. So we have. I hate my life. Sorry.
That was good though.
So both balancing, engineering, and being on the softball team, it definitely I said, oh man, so.
Just use this instead of the other. Yeah, so start that over again.
Oh, that was
cute. I know. I looked at you and I stopped for a hot second, dude. I knew you were gonna say something, so I looked directly at the camera. Oh, I'm sweating. It's hot in here. I'm a little nervy.
I mean, you can move it around a little bit.
Okay,
But
this chair is very warm, Mercedes.
you're done on that. You're good.
I'm so sweaty.